Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Donny B TV from Texas all the way to New York City. We got a great show. We got a very special guest. We got Deidre Gill, who will be joining us, who is running for governor of Texas. And we're very excited to have her live on the show on this beautiful, beautiful Monday night. We'll be talking to her, but we're going to go ahead on and go to our theme music, and we'll be right back. All right, now welcome to Donny B TV. As we was telling you, we got a very special guest. We got Deidre Gill live with us on this beautiful Monday night, and also those who are joining us on Friday night in your living room, wherever you are tuning in to us at the barbershop. We don't know where you're tuning in. We just know you are tuning in to us right here on your local cable station all across New York City. Good evening. Welcome to the show. How you doing?
I'm fine. How about yourself?
You know what? I cannot. First of all, before we start talking about you running for governor, I want you to introduce yourself. Let everybody know where you're from and all of this.
Well, I'm here from Houston, Texas, and I just want to say, hey, how you doing out there? And so I was born and raised right here in the Houston area, and I've been living here all my life. So that's pretty much who I am, where I'm from. I'm Deirdre Gilbert from Houston, Texas. Well, let me put it like this. I'm on the outside of Houston, and they say Missouri City, but then it's outside of Missouri City in somewhere called Siena. So pick your choice.
Hey, I feel you. Well, we want to talk about this because we know you've been you put your head in to run for governor of Texas. And you've been running for a while, but you got a lot of stuff going on. First of all, tell us why you decided to run for governor of Texas.
Well, one of the first things was I was having issues with the laws that were being passed in the state of Texas. And back in 2011, when my daughter died, it sort of kicked off my hat for running for office and trying to get things done. So in 2011, I lost my daughter to medical malpractice. And it was my first stint of what politics was really, really about.
Right.
And how legislation was written, how it was against most minorities. And then I just found out that laws were just being passed to fit a certain people. And I was disturbed at what I was seeing. So that was kind of like what kind of woke me up. My mother had been in politics and I had been around politics. So I've been around politics for over 40 years. And I didn't have any interest whatsoever in running. And so after my daughter's death, and I started working with people and attorneys and doctors and hospital systems and all of these people as it related to medical malpractice, I was still disturbed that we just couldn't get nothing done. Nothing. I mean, legislation, nothing was getting done for, I'm going to say, the least of us, those that really needed help.
Right.
We just were unable to get our legislative leaders to just help us.
Right.
And then in 2018, I became the victim of what we call, I call it, they call it debt collection. So I was sued in a court for some debt, but I had never been served by any judge or got any kind of thing in the mail that I had been sued.
Oh, wow.
And we went into court, and I saw all of the information that these people were trying to
Mhm.
give to the judge. And I explained to the judge that, look, they have the wrong social security number. These
Mhm.
people had gotten some debt, bought some old debt, and wanted me to pay.
Oh, wow.
And the judge in court told me to shut up that day
What?
and not to say anything. And so I
Oh,
was, I was like really disturbed that,
right, right.
wow, I've been in court for a ticket, but I had never been in court ever where I was really um, demeaned by a judge such as this. And so I came home, and I told my husband, I said, you know what, I'm gonna run for his office. And sure enough, I ran for justice of the peace in 2018. And
Wow.
I was saying to myself, surely that it has to be somebody in this whole entire nation and city and state in which we live that is
Mhm.
doing right by the people, you know.
Right.
And that's when I started seeing the dirty work. I mean, the real dirty, dirty work of how they were picking and choosing their candidates, or how they were, keeping candidates off ballots and doing a whole lot of things. And
Mhm.
and so when this opportunity came up, no, I had not sat and been a state representative or in Congress, but I had been around politics so long. I knew legislation because I've worked with several attorneys that were
Mhm.
working on legislation for my nonprofit, where we work for those that have been harmed by medical error. I've been talking in front of Congress here in Washington, D.C., and also in Houston, in the state of Texas. And
Wow.
so I knew by what I had been involved with, in the people that I had been involved with.
Right.
Also, I became a group of whistleblower group
Okay.
out of Washington, D.C. It's one of the biggest whistleblower things. And I had been asked to speak in front of Congress. And this is when I really, really learned how the system works. And when I realized, Donnie, that we were just not going to get what we needed, the
Mhm.
only way that we can get things changed was going to be by legislation.
Wow.
And the only person who really has a lot of that power was the governor and those that sit in our legislative bodies. And so
Wow.
that was why I said, I think it's time. And yeah, that's where I am.
Let's talk about this also. How is people receiving you? What are people saying when they see Deidre Gilbert running for governor of Texas? Especially you being the first African American to
Yeah.
run for these powerful positions. But I know that you don't even look at it being African American. You just look at it as doing what needs to be done. Let's talk about
Yeah.
that.
So actually, when I first began running, I was running on a Democratic ticket. I'd been a Democrat all my life.
Mhm.
And so when I started running as a Democrat, I'm going to say that the state and the people that I had been encountering were very excited about a
Mhm.
change. They really were excited, I can say the least. However, the party itself, the Democratic Party, um, wasn't excited. So, with that, and after just realizing that I was being disrespected as a female, disrespected as a human being, and um, they really didn't care. They had their minds on someone else, and so I'm going to say that I was embraced, and still I believe that I would be embraced by the community. It was the party that didn't want me uh,
Mhm.
to be anywhere. So, with that being said, I changed to an independent.
Okay.
And I'm going to say it's very different as an independent because there is no independent party.
Right.
And so when I began having the suppression campaign against me and the oppression campaign, or being blocked off the television screen, and press releases being blocked, then people didn't really get a chance to know who I was because people didn't get to see me. What that also did was it made me seem as if I was not real, or I was not even a serious candidate. So
Wow.
therefore, I didn't get a lot of money coming in as an independent candidate. And so a lot of things that I really wanted to do to get out there, it was very difficult.
So do you feel like you haven't really the support you needed to get? You did not have the full support from the Black community or from the Latin community. Let's talk about that.
You know, I'm not going to say that I really didn't have the support.
Mhm.
They just didn't get a chance to know who I was. I didn't get a chance to, it's 254 counties. I came to you guys brought me down to Fort Worth, which was a blessing. Now, as a Democrat, it was a little bit different because there were a lot of places that I could go to that were, groups that were having events.
Right.
So as an independent, though, it was a little bit different because there is no groups per se that were having events to invite me so that other people can see me out there. And
Right.
although that I was going places, I still wasn't getting the type of recognition that I needed to get, which is part of it. People needed to see me. But 254 counties, it costs money to travel up and down, up and down the freeway. And so let me say, I don't believe that they were against me. We just had these powers to be, or the powers that be, or the powers of the world, and the powers of these parties who just didn't want anyone to know who I was, because knowing who I was and seeing who I was going to be a threat
Right.
to their campaign.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about some of the plans. If you become the governor of Texas, or what are some of the plans you want to see be changed? And not only that, we definitely want to talk about healthcare. We still got the coronavirus going on. People, even though people are saying, hey, it's over with, but it's still going on. We'll talk about the healthcare. We'll also get into a little bit of everything that's happening around the state of Texas, and why our governor of Texas are not doing what he really is supposed to be doing. And also your thoughts on Beto, who is running for governor and stuff. You got a lot to say about him. And so we'll talk about that and a lot more. You tune in to us. It's going down right here on Donny B Tv. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. This is part of downtown Fort Worth. As you can see,
we've always been interconnected, interdependent, united. And that's never been more apparent than right now. What we do together today will determine how we live united tomorrow. Stay home, stay strong, and if you're able, give for your neighbors who need help the most.
going down, everybody? I am your boy, world famous DJ Donny B. Make sure you check me out Monday through Friday for Donny B TV, right here on Channel 49 TV. Donny B TV, here for you from community to news. We got everything you want every single night, Monday through Friday, right here on Channel 49 TV. And I approve this message.
We've always been interconnected, interdependent, united. And that's never been more apparent than right now. What we do together today will determine how we live united tomorrow. Stay home, stay strong, and if you're able, give for your neighbors who need help the most.
Going down, everybody. I am your boy, world famous DJ Donny B. Make sure you check me out Monday through Friday for Donny B TV, right here on Channel 49 TV. Donny B TV, here for you from community to news. We got everything you want every single night, Monday through Friday, right here on Channel 49 TV. And I approve this message.
We've always been interconnected, interdependent, united. And that's never been more apparent than right now. What we do together today will determine how we live united tomorrow. Stay home, stay strong, and if you're able, give for your neighbors who need help the most.
Going down, everybody. I am your boy, world famous DJ Donny B. Make sure you check me out Monday through Friday for Donny B TV, right here on Channel 49 TV. Donny B TV, here for you from community to news. We got everything you want every single night, Monday through Friday, right here on Channel 49 TV. And I approve this message.
Interdependent, united. And that's never been more apparent than right now. What we do together today will determine how we live united tomorrow. Stay home, stay strong, and if you're able, give for your neighbors who need help the most.
All right, y'all, we are back right here on Donny B TV. I want to say a big shout out to Dietrich Giver, who is live with us on this beautiful Monday night. Welcome back to the show. You know, I've been trying to get home for the longest, haven't I?
And you keep saying Monday. I think today Friday, right?
No, this is Monday. It's Monday night now. You know, this is airing on Monday night, so it's Monday.
Oh, see, that's me.
Hey, you know what? Everybody get confused and stuff.
We all get confused. So you're absolutely correct. It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood.
People are looking at us Monday night, and some people are looking at us Friday night in New York City.
Oh, so, okay.
But yeah. But yeah, let's talk about this because right now the biggest thing that's happening here in Texas is the healthcare. A lot of people are looking for jobs. A lot of people saying that they thought Biden was going to help provide jobs, but they're not seeing enough jobs. Not only that, let's also talk about we don't have enough training new people for these jobs. How would you be able to fix some of those problems that I just talked about?
Well, one of the things with the job market is A lot of people were affected with the COVID. That's one of the first things, and we're looking at. You have to look at what we call high skills jobs through the workforce solutions, and so a lot of the jobs that were I'm going to say available before COVID no longer exist. You have a lot of positions now that are warehouse positions. We're
Right.
getting back into a little bit of construction, but not too much. Some places people are looking for people who have high skills, such as IT, computer training.
Right.
And when you're looking at some of your older people who have been working for 20, 30, 40 years, they may not have those skills. So therefore, they're not even trying to get the jobs. Most of the job market now, if you look at our youth, most of these children are not trying to go to work for anybody. They're building their own businesses.
Oh, wow.
So we have a whole new group of a whole new group, that not trying to go to work for $10. That's one of the problems, because people are wanting to still pay 7 something an hour. They don't want to pay people for what they're worth.
Right.
So you're going to have some issues
What
with
I don't
these
understand
jobs.
what I don't understand is why haven't our governor of Texas even put that on the ballot for that to change? Why is it that our governor? I mean, because if you look at every state across the country, has went up from New York to California, how it went up to $15 to $18 an hour. Texas is only one, and you got the governor of Texas who's saying, "Hey, we want all these companies. We're gonna pay you to bring all of these companies to Texas, but when they come to Texas, we're gonna give you they're gonna give you a tax break. We're gonna give you a tax break for the next 3 to 5 years." But it's a problem. The companies seem like they can't keep nobody working because people don't want to work for so cheap. Let's talk about that.
No. So Texas, the people don't want to work. I mean, a lot of people are just haven't gotten a groove back. That was a mass exodus after the COVID, because more people were making more money staying at home.
Yeah.
Through all of the means of benefits that they were receiving, as opposed to going to work. You have to also look at a lot of stuff is going up. A lot of their prices of everything is going up. Childcare. So a lot of people who were in the workforce are no longer trying to go back there, because it's cheaper to stay at home, where you don't have to put gas in your car. But here's what's happening to these companies. These companies are now threatening these people. You need to come back. They're employees. We need you to come back to the office and work. And they're not trying to go back to work. They're not trying to go back to work because some of them say they don't feel safe at work. I don't, whether it's, your teachers, but it's your leadership. You got a lot of the leadership and a lot of the different places who have caused anxiety and pain. And I think during the COVID time, once people were able to sit down and really breathe a little bit, I think they realized that their lives were much calmer to them than all of the hustle and bustle of the day. Right. So many people are just not wanting to go to work. You have a lot of businesses that are gone out of business. A lot of companies that are going out of business still have not recovered because they can't get employees to go to work. And it's from the top to the bottom.
You make a good point when you say that, because I can say a prime example is McDonald's. They have to close down early. For a while they was closing down early.
Yes.
And they wouldn't even open up the lobby because they did not have enough help. And you'll see, and not only that, but you're seeing business like Jack in the Box, the smaller restaurants who are not able to keep their doors open full time because they don't have the help. Jack in the Box is closed at 3 o'clock. You got McDonald's who closes their lobby whenever they don't have enough help. And so not only that, the McDonald's
Mhm.
have had to redo their restaurant and make it a little bit smaller because they're not
Mhm.
making money out there. So
Right.
restaurants who are saying, hey, we got the money to pay you, but we need you to come to work. The fact that you're not coming to work, it makes us
Mhm.
have to down the business early. So you make a good point when you say that a lot of the businesses are closing down early because
Mhm.
they have the help that they need.
Right.
Or if they get the help, they can't keep it. Why? Because
Mhm.
they 7.25 an hour when
Right.
someone making about 15, $18 an hour, and the research shows that when you pay the average person, a single person that makes $18 an hour, they still cannot make it. It's still not a full-time job for them, even making
Right.
$18 an hour. So I think they say what you got to make at least $20 to $25 an hour to make it full, and that's only for a single parent house. Let's talk
And
about that.
that's if it's even, I mean, you might have to stay at home with someone to be able to see, even manage that. I mean, your housing is gone up, gas has gone up, food has gone up. Many people have gotten raises, but because of the raises that they're getting, they're causing, the claim is now is that's the reason why inflation is increasing, because people are now making more money and spending money, which,
So
I
right.
mean, I have this conversation along with my husband all the time because I really don't understand how, you thought you would want people spending money and making money so that they can survive. But, inflation, I mean, insurance has gone up.
Uh-huh.
Um, I was talking to a couple of people yesterday and they were talking about their car insurance went up like $80
What?
um, on their car insurance because insurance companies are also downsizing.
Mhm.
I know Geico, for one, shut down a lot of their offices. And I'm assuming, I don't know if people are not driving or people are just finding other companies
You got more
to
people now.
provide insurance or what. But a lot of people have been affected
Yes.
by what they did when COVID came along. When they shut down the whole world for so long, it's very difficult to bring that back.
Yeah, that's true. You show right about that. I definitely agree with you on that. Also, now let's go to another topic because this is a good topic. We can talk about this all day. But I know time is going by so quick. We got to talk about this. The school shooting continue to happen, and
Wow. Hmm.
it's over
Yeah.
there. We had a big school shooting right before the summertime, right there close to you out there
Hmm.
at the area. Well, not in, but right there.
Today, I mean, they've had a couple of today and
Wait a minute.
threats and bomb threats. And yeah,
Oh my
the
gosh.
gun violence is,
It's up.
it's up. And I've been having this conversation too, is just trying to figure out what is it that has caused the massive disruption.
Mhm.
And one of the things I keep telling people is that the guns are here.
Yes.
I don't know how you can say that you can take all of these guns off the street because you really can't take them off the street.
Right.
Now you can put policies in or safeguards guards and having what we call responsible ownership. Those that are not responsible owners of these guns, there need to be policies in place where they, you know, uh, where justice is done in these cases. But
That's
what I'm seeing is,
great.
we had a governor who, everybody's talking about your
Yes.
First Amendment rights, right? And
Mhm.
all of these are your right to bear arms and all of these things. But I believe that they reading these things the way that they want to. When that law was passed or the bill was passed or amendments were passed, it wasn't meant that everybody was supposed to be carrying guns around here walking and running and,
Right.
just doing whatever they wanted to do. We understand that people need to protect their property, and all of those things. People were able to go hunting, and we understood all of that. What we're not understanding is people are just able to just walk around and they're just shooting everybody. And it's
Yeah.
almost like they have no conscience
No,
as to, um, you know, being held accountable. It's almost like I don't, I keep asking, are these people doing drugs?
right.
Is what is it that is causing the mass anger that we're seeing? But then I was reading something today, and I was reading where Venezuela actually was releasing some of their most dangerous criminals, murderers, rapists, burglars, and they were actually dropping them off in Texas.
What?
Yes, they're dropping them off in Texas. So here we are with people who they are releasing from the criminal justice systems who have criminal histories, and they are walking around with with doing all of these things. And I'm not sure how you would address that, only because that should be a federal issue. Now that there should be somebody watching
Mhm.
these structural unfairnesses that we're seeing right here, because this is the structural issues that we are dealing with. Our schools need to be secure, for
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. I
You
agree.
definitely need to have, we know that they don't want metal detectors, but they definitely need to have metal detectors in these schools.
Yeah.
What that at least would do is that you will at least catch them when they're coming in on campus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, it's going to take a little bit more than that, because some people will open back doors, but you're going to have more police presence on some of these campuses, and that costs money.
But here's the problem too. And like right here in Fort Worth, they don't want. I think we lost her. Did we lose her? I think we lost her. She'll be coming back in. All right, we're talking live right now with Deetra Giver. She's live with us right now, but we're dealing with technical problems right here live on TV. This happens on TV all the time. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take another quick break. Let me see. Hopefully she'll come back on, y'all. We're talking to Deetra Giver, who is running for governor of Texas. Right now she got disconnected. I think we got her back on. Okay, yeah. Okay, we got to. All right, we got you back in.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. It's just
No.
yeah, but what I'm saying is there's a lot of other things. Back in the day, we had recidivism programs. We had those programs that helped those that were incarcerated,
Yeah.
giving them something to do when they came out, helping those get back into society. We're going to have more accountability. I think what's missing across the board is accountability, because even with our police, the over policing or the police misconduct, we're missing the mark when we refuse to make those people accountable for
Yeah.
their behavior. And what
Yeah.
happens is, and this is just happening over time, it started with Martin Luther King. And matter of fact, it started a long time ago in slavery time. At some point in time, people get sick and tired of being abused, beat
Yeah.
up, unheard. Um, and then they begin to fight back. And this is where we are right now. But because we're looking at 2022, Donnie, and you would think that we would have come a little bit further than where we are. But in actuality, we are like way back past where we've come from.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
it's all because I believe that we're in a place where they believe that we are stepping our boundaries, or we're now getting beside ourselves.
Mhm.
And and trying to put you back in order. You know, the punishments that you're getting, the lack of accountability, or they're overlooking things. But there are so many things. I mean, I talk about enhancing police accountability. We have to have restructured civilian payouts. And what I mean by that is when you have police officers who continually have this misconduct, they need to be using their insurance policies to pay for their behaviors, that the cities should not be paying for them. It needs to be coming out of their own policies. Once you start making people accountable for their behavior, guess what? That stuff will stop.
Yeah,
qualified immunity. They keep having the qualified immunity in all of the legislation. And this is what I was talking to you about legislation. Pretty much all of these people have what they call qualified immunity, which simply means that we can keep doing what we're doing because we're immune from being sued, or we're immune from going to jail. Nobody should be immune from being sued or going to jail for misbehavior and misconduct.
Yeah, you're right. I agree with you 100% on that. That is so true. That is so true.
So, we need oversight of our state prisons. We need to be setting aside funding grants that can be used for education on how to reduce both crime and incarceration. There should be limits on the use of deadly and non-deadly force. And I talk about the mandate with the databases. They don't use these databases, Donnie. They have databases that can have alerts on people who purchase guns on black market. You have reports of all of these people who have been doing things across the country. They can stop this, but they don't do and use what we have.
Right.
But we also need to have restorative justice programs. Remember, we used to have mentorship programs. Police officers used to come to our schools and talk to the children, and there were mentorships. We needed to have oversight from our school to prison pipeline. And we also need to have independent oversight of independent crime labs so that those crime labs are not done by the very people who are committing the crimes. It's a simple, these things are things that they already can do and should have been done and used to do, but don't do anymore.
You think our governor of Texas is not doing what he's really supposed to be doing?
No, he's not. Just think about it, because one of the things, and I want people to look at this, there's a group called ALEC, ALEC. It's called the American Legislative Exchange Council. Okay. There is a video called the United States of ALEC, ALEC. I need the people to really go and look at that, because it will tell you and it will describe to you how our legislation is being written. When the Stand Your Ground law came, it was created by ALEC.
Oh, wow.
What people don't understand is that in each one of our legislative bodies in every state, we have legislative members who are part of ALEC. ALEC is a group that creates model legislation. And so, like when you see one bill pass and you're wondering, well, how did it get it in Chicago? Well, how did it get in New York? How did that get in Texas and in Florida all at the same time? And that's because this legislation is being created behind closed doors. It's like baller point templates that they create. And each one of our legislative bodies have members of ALEC.
What?
Most of those that sit on the Senate, and most of them are Republicans. And when I say that, ALEC has an agenda, and that agenda is all theirs. It's just us. Whatever we want at all costs.
Wow.
Okay. So I need you to really go and look at that. Look at that, and you will really start to understand why we can't get anything done.
Wow. Man. Yeah.
And guess what? Greg Abbott is called the darling of ALEC.
What?
We have over 90%. I think Texas is one of the highest ones that have all the members of ALEC. Yes. And you will be surprised when you go to alec.com and see a lot of our legislative leaders who were a part of ALEC and
Wow.
still is. And you will understand what they do and the reason why we can't get anything done, because they're friends of a friend and friends of a friend of a friend and all of these people. And I'm talking about from Verizon to AT&T to Home Depot to Hobby Lobby, to all of these people are giving them what they want. So when we get our bills and you may see a Happy Meal bill, fee
Yeah.
on your telephone bill, you're like, what is that fee from? That's because they're sitting behind closed doors and they're asking them to put these fees, and we're paying for stuff that we shouldn't be paying for.
I didn't even know that.
It's
And I have
it's sad. It's
yeah,
really sad.
you sure right about
Yeah.
that. And also some of these candidates are getting paid secretly. They're getting so much amount of money to help these laws, but change laws for them, not for us.
Well, if you do a little bit more research, I was doing some research when
Hey, wait a minute. They always say follow the money.
yeah,
Follow the
they say follow the money. But one of the most really mind-boggling things that I saw, and I had heard that this was one of the things they've done, but they tell us that 95% of the time, our legislative leaders are sitting behind in a cubicle fundraising.
Wow.
And in order for them to become part of a committee, let's say Ways and Means Committee is one of your highest committees, and then you have your Appropriations Committee, that's one of the big ones. But even let's just say your Health Committee might be one big one as well. Well, in order for you to be the big man or the big woman on top and head that particular committee, you have to have raised or give, they call it a fee that you pay, six-figure fee.
Man, did
Yes.
not know.
And so most of what they're doing is raising money, and they're raising money for the party. They're not really taking time to really delve into what's needed in our community. And we need to figure out how to cut out all this money, because that was one of the questions I was asking as I was running for governor, right? As to all of the money that Beto and Abbott raised over these years, and even Beto for the last 3 times that he's run, he has gotten, I know, in the billions of dollars that he has accumulated.
Wow.
Where is that money going? And what does it do? What does it help? Who does it help?
Right.
Greg Abbott has raised all this money. Who has that money helped?
Yeah.
When you receive $1 million donation, is it going to gun violence? You know what I'm saying? Is it going to help? You see what I'm saying? What are we doing with the money?
Right.
Well, are you using it to revitalize a community? Are you, helping the homeless? But none of that money is going to where we think it's going.
Right.
And at some point, we need to start rethinking
and researching
and start asking for laws to be changed so that they're not allowed to do these things. But what they've started doing now, they started creating these PACs, PACs. And these PACs, you can raise as much money you want to. And guess what? Nobody, they're not accountable. You don't even have to report it.
What? Oh,
you don't even know where you're getting it from. You don't know if you're getting it from China. You don't know if they're getting it from Mexico. You don't know where they're getting this money from. They can hide these money through these PACs.
Wow. That is crazy.
It's crazy.
I'll tell you what, we're going to take one more last break. This is the last break of the night. You tune in to us right here on this beautiful, beautiful Monday night after 9 o'clock. And we're going to take one more last break, and we'll be right back and right after this.
We've always been interconnected, interdependent, united. And that's never been more apparent than right now. What we do together today will determine how we live united tomorrow. Stay home, stay strong, and if you're able, give for your neighbors who need help the most.
Going down, everybody. I am your boy, world famous DJ Donny B. Make sure you check me out Monday through Friday for Donny B TV right here on Channel 49 TV. Donny B TV here for you from community to news. We got everything you want every single night, Monday through Friday, right here on Channel 49 TV. And I approve this message.
We've always been interconnected, interdependent, united. And that's never been more apparent than right now. What we do together today will determine how we live united tomorrow. Stay home, stay strong, and if you're able, give for your neighbors who need help the most.
Going down, everybody. I am your boy, world famous DJ Donny B. Make sure you check me out Monday through Friday for Donny B TV right here on Channel 49 TV. Donny B TV here for you from community to news. We got everything you want every single night, Monday through Friday, right here on Channel 49 TV. And I approve this message.
We've always been interconnected, interdependent, united. And that's never been more apparent than right now. What we do together today will determine how we live united tomorrow. Stay home, stay strong, and if you're able, give for your neighbors who need help the most.
Going down, everybody. I am your boy, world famous DJ Donny B. Make sure you check me out Monday through Friday for Donny B TV right here on Channel 49 TV. Donny B TV here for you from community to news. We got everything you want every single night, Monday through Friday, right here on Channel 49 TV. And I approve this message.
Interdependent, united. And that's never been more apparent than right now. What we do together today will determine how we live united tomorrow. Stay home, stay strong, and if you're able, give for your neighbors who need help the most.
All right, y'all, we are back. That's the last promo for the night. I told you, Deidre, that everything goes by so quick. You notice that?
Yes.
Yeah. So what else do you want to talk about real quick? Because I think I covered everything, but we still got a few more minutes.
Well, quickly, I just wanted to let you know that, I ended up having to fight the parties and the Secretary of State and the Office of Attorney General to try to get on the ballot. Today, I got news that the Supreme Court ruled and denied my mandamus, which means that they denied to even hear the case regarding these people trying to keep me off the ballot. And then I find out that 6 of the justices of the Supreme Court actually were either appointed by Governor Abbott or used to work for him. So how about that?
Wow. Very suspicious.
So basically, they gave a denial and refused to give me a ruling. And what does that mean? That simply means that none of these judges ruled on the question of law. And that question was, did the Secretary of State have the right to deny me ballot access or to get on the ballot without a declaration of ineligibility from a court of law? And the answer is no, they could not. However, they never did get that, but they never would give me a final ruling. Okay. Without a final ruling, the courts have nothing to rule on. And they all did this purposely and kept me in court for over 60 days and played all these games. I mean, they did some criminal activity in between. We even had to file with the FBI because the clerks and some of the judges and even some of the attorneys were working behind the scenes and doing some criminal activity within the courts. And I am just shocked, but not surprised, because, we're just finding out that what we're believing in is just not real. What we're even hoping for right now is not happening until we can stand up and fight these systems back and say enough is enough. We cannot afford to have judges and attorneys and just doing whatever they want to. And again, with no accountability. We can't have secretaries of states in the Democratic Party or Republican Party making decisions that only the judicial office can do. However, if we can't depend on those systems, then what are we going to do? And the only thing we can do is we need to find out who these people are, and we need to get them out of office. We need to be making more noise than we could ever made before, Donnie, and get these people. We need to make some noise. We need to let people know that these people are doing the wrong things, and they did the wrong thing in my case. It's criminal. It's a violation of the Constitution. It's a violation of law. And guess what? They don't even care. So yes. I'm saying that we need to continue to fight. We need to continue to push, and we need to figure out how to get these people out of office. And we can't have where we have a governor who appoints everybody. The governor also needs to have accountability as well. I don't care who you are, whether you're the president or whoever, you need to be accountable for your behavior. How can you lead when you are also engaging in criminal activity? So not only him, but the thing is that Beto O'Rourke never paid his filing fee. Greg Abbott never gave nominating petitions. And I asked them to, and I filed in court to have them to challenge me. And they kept me off the ballot. So I won't be on the ballot because no judge will rule. And what's crazy is that the Supreme Court just ruled about a month ago that the Libertarian Party and the Green Party was able to get on the ballot. And guess what? And they told the Secretary of State, you can't keep them off the ballot without a declaration of ineligibility. But for Deirdre Gilbert, they allowed him to kick me off the ballot without a declaration of eligibility. How about that?
What's next for you? What are your plans now that you're not? Are you?
We don't know. I don't even know where to go. I don't know.
Are you saying that you're not able to run now? So you're not going to be running for governor?
No, I can't. The judges won't rule. They wouldn't, like I said, they wouldn't rule on my case. They would not tell the Secretary of State that they couldn't keep me off the ballot. And what I just stated to you that 1 month ago, the the Supreme Court just wrote a memorandum of opinion and said that the Secretary of State could not keep candidates off the ballot without a declaration of ineligibility. And guess what they did to me? They allowed him to keep me off the ballot without a declaration of ineligibility when they just ruled in favor of the Green Party and the Libertarian Party.
Oh, wow. This is major. You guys are just tuning into us. This is breaking major news right here on Donny B TV. And you guys are getting it first right here. So what do you, real quick, we got a few seconds left. What do you want them to do in the community? What do you want them to do? You want them to call up there to the office?
Yeah, they need to still inundate call them on those phones and harass them and talk to them about what was going on. And I mean, they need to shut down this election. They need to shut down the election because there was so much fraud. I call it election fraud. It was election fraud, and they know it. And if Beto didn't pay his filing fee, if Greg Abbott didn't have his signatures, then they too should not be running for any kind of governor at all. And we have evidence to prove such. So if they don't have it, then I shouldn't be sitting here because guess what? I did pay a filing fee as a Democrat. And they took my money and wouldn't give it back to me. So in actuality, I'm really the only eligible candidate.
But they're not letting you do it.
But they will not, no.
Wow. Well, I tell you what, we definitely gonna keep, we here at Donny B TV will definitely keep you in prayer. And
thank you.
I gotta ask you this, are you planning on running for something else in the future? Let's talk about that real quick.
I don't know. I mean, we got to do better as a community and as a people.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that.
And until we can get together with that, I'm not sure, because it's not just me. There were several Black females who were running for governor, and the parties did not embrace them, and many of them had to step out of the race, or they lost their races.
You want to do a quick shout out real quick?
Well, I just shout out to Texas. What I say to Texas is, hey, we got a problem. We got a problem in Texas, and I don't know about you, but you need to get it together and find out what to do. I heard that the debate is on. I don't know if you're going to look at it, but they tell me the debate is on. I don't,
All right, I tell you what, we want to thank Dietrich Giver for being on the show with us tonight, right here on Donny B TV. Remember, if it is to be, it's up to you to make a difference. Make a difference. Good night, and tomorrow night, same time.